This new offering could potentially revolutionize the market, reaching spaces that brands like Nike have barely touched. Consider this: a deal rumored to be worth around $3 million annually for 8 to 10 years, totaling nearly $30 million, has just been inked for Caitlin Clark. In a bold move, Nike has decisively pushed back against Adidas following a realization that could redefine competitive dynamics. More shockingly, Nike has initiated a lawsuit against Adidas, accusing them of trying to undermine this monumental contract. Beyond merely securing Clark with an enhanced deal, this situation exposes deep ideological divides. Some argue that the focus on diversity, equity, and inclusion overshadows core business and growth objectives, especially in initiatives like the WNBA. In this high-stakes battle between two sports apparel giants, Adidas is now fervently contending that they had extended an offer to Clark, which she turned down. This drama unfolds with Nike, the industry titan, firmly in their crosshairs. Caitlin Clark's impact on basketball is undeniable, having significantly boosted the WNBA's profile and brought a fresh vibrancy to the sport. Yet financially, she's secured $28 million over 8 years, starkly less than the $100 million deals floating around, showing Nike's keenness not to let a prized asset go. This entire saga, rife with corporate intrigue and market maneuvers, not only stirs the pot, but also draws public critique and engagement, turning what could have been a corporate slip-up into a spectacle. During this year's WNBA season, it came to light that Caitlin Clark had secured a lucrative endorsement deal with Nike, complete with her own signature sneaker line, priced at $28 million over 8 years. At that time, empathy for Adidas was palpable, as they nearly succeeded in capitalizing on what Nike had missed. This was no mere rumor circulating on social media. It was a genuine power play filled with intense negotiations, almost akin to a coup in the sneaker world. Adidas went all in on Clark with a fervor that signaled not just a business transaction, but a full-on attempt to dominate. Caught off guard, Nike had to quickly recalibrate and take action. This unfolding drama between Nike and Adidas isn't just about sports apparel, it's a reflection of larger tensions and strategies at play within the industry. As this narrative continues to captivate audiences, it underscores the transformative power of high-profile endorsements and the fierce competition that defines the sports apparel market. When Nike secured Caitlin Clark with an 8-year endorsement deal worth $28 million, it seemed they had struck gold. Yet, perplexingly, Nike has since made no visible efforts to promote her. We've seen no campaigns, no Caitlin Clark branded merchandise, and shockingly, no autographs. This curious silence becomes even more intriguing when considering that Caitlin had already pledged her loyalty to Nike. Instead of celebrating her as the basketball icon she truly is, Nike promised a 2024 launch of a signature shoe collection for her, only to fumble the execution, a typical misstep for the brand. Now it appears that Caitlin won't see her own signature shoe until 2026 or 2027, pushing this beyond a mere delay into the territory of a significant contractual breach. Surprisingly, Nike has yet to launch a single promotional piece featuring Clark since she turned professional. Conversations with insiders suggest that this decision may be influenced by the presence of A'ja Wilson, another Nike athlete and WNBA MVP. The company's internal culture, once known for making noise, now seems to focus on muting it, deciding that a sneaker for Wilson should come first, perhaps due to her MVP status and the less controversial nature of her public profile compared to Clark's. This has sparked heated discussions, with some commentators, including Dawn Staley and other vocal activists, criticizing Nike for prioritizing Wilson over Clark, hinting at underlying racial dynamics. Despite Clark's vast and vibrant fan base, Nike seems to have calculated that stepping back her line would avoid media backlash. This safe play has led some, including A.A. Wilson herself, to comment on the unlikelihood of her shoes reaching high sales, seemingly ending Clark's story with Nike prematurely. Yet it's clear that the saga isn't over. Personally, I find it quite telling. I would eagerly wear Caitlin Clark's unique sneakers if they were available, despite the controversy. Meanwhile, Adidas has been attentively observing from the sidelines and chose the perfect moment to step in with a substantial offer to Clark, capitalizing on Nike's hesitations. Adidas has not only matched but elevated the stakes, offering Clark the kind of creative control and independence most athletes only dream of. This empowerment extends beyond mere footwear. Clark now has the opportunity to shape her advertising narratives, build a personal brand, and engage directly with her fans, something Nike's approach lacked. As the face of the WNBA and arguably its best player at this moment, Caitlin Clark's marketability is undeniable. Could she outsell Ojo Wilson if both release sneakers simultaneously? Many believe so, especially with Adidas now providing her the platform to shine without restraint. The excitement around Clark continues to build, underscored by the more than 20 million viewers who tuned in to watch her in the national championship game. As Nike grapples with its corporate strategies, Adidas is making moves that could redefine athlete endorsements, pushing the envelope in ways that could disrupt the entire sports apparel market. This dynamic rivalry invites us to watch closely as the next season approaches, promising a showdown of not just talent but brand power and athlete influence in the high-stakes world of sports marketing. The schedule for the release of Caitlin Clark's shoes is set to stretch from 2024 to possibly 2026, a timeline that Nike continues to push back, extending the anticipation among fans and the market. In a sharp contrast, Adidas has adopted a different strategy. Keen to capitalize on the strong following Clark has amassed, Adidas has committed to a quicker release date for her sneaker line, ensuring that her supporters don't lose interest due to prolonged wait times. Adidas recognizes that the patience of Clark's fans is not infinite, especially when Nike's delays appear to be indefinite. By promising an earlier release, Adidas aims to keep the enthusiasm alive, showing an understanding that Clark is deserving of timely recognition. While Adidas moves forward decisively, Nike seems mired in internal chaos. The prospect of Clark accepting Adidas's offer has Nike on high alert, fearing a PR disaster. They are acutely aware that a direct competition between Clark's and A.O. Wilson's sneaker releases could see Clark's products sell out rapidly, overshadowing Wilson's. This potential outcome has Nike scrambling to preserve its market share and corporate image. This situation has led many to question Nike's initial hesitance in promoting Clark, despite her potential and the relatively modest sum of $28 million over 8 years for her contract. In a reactive measure to address their oversight and counter Adidas's aggressive move, Nike has shifted into full damage control. Their plan includes accelerating the production and launch of Clark's shoe line to realign with the original 2024 schedule they set when they first signed her. However, their sudden urgency betrays a fear of losing Clark to Adidas, which would not only be a financial blow, but also a significant hit to their reputation in handling top-tier athletes. Despite her accolades, including being named the WNBA Rookie of the Year, Nike's sluggishness in rolling out her signature shoe has been met with criticism from fans and observers alike. The community has watched as Nike appeared to prioritize other athletes over Clark, pushing her to the margins and failing to leverage her growing popularity. This perceived neglect has sparked discussions about athlete management and loyalty within corporate sponsorships, heightened by public endorsements from figures like Billie Jean King, an Adidas ambassador who has openly celebrated Clark's achievements, adding to the momentum behind Adidas's campaign. Amidst this backdrop of growing discontent and corporate rivalry, rumors have surfaced suggesting Nike is preparing a substantial marketing effort to retain Clark. These efforts are rumored to include extensive advertising campaigns, enhanced bonuses, and faster manufacturing processes, all aimed at ensuring that Clark remains with Nike. These efforts reflect a strategic pivot as Nike attempts to mitigate the potential damage to their brand and their standing within both the sport and broader social contexts, which demand a more responsive and equitable approach to athlete endorsements. Furthermore, the tension between Nike and Adidas may soon escalate beyond corporate maneuvering into legal territory. Nike alleges that Adidas has engaged in contracts manipulation, a serious accusation that implies potential legal action. This dispute highlights the fierce competition in the sportswear market, where contractual obligations become battlegrounds, and the relationships between athletes and brands can sometimes result in high-stakes legal confrontations. As this complex situation unfolds, it is clear that the outcome will have significant implications for the sports apparel industry, potentially reshaping athlete endorsement strategies and corporate responsibility. At the center of this storm is Caitlin Clark, whose career decisions now carry implications that extend far beyond the basketball court, influencing market trends, corporate practices, and the legal landscape surrounding sports endorsements. This ongoing saga is not just about sneakers, it's a narrative that touches on power dynamics, market strategies, and the evolving role of athletes in shaping their careers and the brands they represent.